Record.
Let's read.
So, the Let's Read has begun!
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Read New Game Plus. I'm Duhad, that's Rydell.
Is it?
That's Herr Wutzig.
Doth mother know thou weareth her drapes?
Okay, anyway, also there's Time Knight,
Hi guys.
Zombie Cam,
I'm trying to come up with a voice.
and that rascal Nero.
Let's read.
So we're going to be doing
Lugo.
So we're going to be doing Forbidden Love, the Iliad, as a preamble before we get back into hands. So,
Okay.
fuck it. Let's do this Iliad fanfiction first.
Oh God.
And so, the gods did Hector up the butt because he was a fine man.
It begins. It begins.
Zeus always topped because he was the almighty Seme. Apollo didn't always give, though. It really depended on who he was with, but he really did love Hector's penis. Achilles liked to invite Hector to join him and Patroclus, but Hector got jealous of Patroclus getting all the attention, so he did what jealous lovers did, stabbed a spear through his gut. This made Achilles tumors, so he stabbed and killed Hector, which made Apollo very sad. So Apollo bunked up with the scandalous Paris so that he could kill the douche Achilles. Apollo would have lived happily with Paris had Paris not been immortal. Paris got old and wrinkly, so Apollo was like,
Screw this.
and decided to settle for big bad Seme Ares, who he didn't mind sharing with Aphrodite because he knew she was only with Ares to hide the fact that she was a raging lesbian with Helen.
The
That's
end.
how Equestria was
I
made.
have several
What the
questions.
fuck was that?
I have none. Let's read hands.
That's
That
one of the questions.
Is one of only two pieces of Iliad fan fiction I've seen, and the
Oh
other
my
is
God.
Virgil's The Aeneid, which is almost as much of a classic as the Iliad.
Oh my God.
For
that
nerds.
was epic.
Um,
That, I'm not gonna lie,
and
that was
that-
actually epic. Okay, on to hands.
that
We were
was-
on
Okay,
That's
were we
all
on
right.
chapter? I believe we were on extras number 1, if I'm not mistaken. We did chapter 5, right?
Let's
no.
Accor-
let me
according-
check
No.
Duhad's channel really
According
fast.
to
I
my
don't-
according to my fanfiction page, we've only touched 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, yeah, mine's a little off because
Yeah, that's what I
I-
thought.
Okay, so what was
yeah.
happening in chapter 3? Just to make sure I didn't just look at this and
I completely forgot.
puzzles
what
are
happened.
boring no matter what. Okay, yeah, the chapter 3 was the one where they was in the hospitals. So we're on to chapter 4.
Yeah, finally.
You guys
jeez.
mind if I take over Flutternutter?
Go ahead.
What are
After
done.
Sure.
like
Go
2
ahead, go nuts, go
goddamn
ape
months.
shit.
Holy shit.
hold on. We've got 3 people that
Also,
are
what the
assigned
fuck is going on
characters.
up
So
there?
Nero can be the Pegasi, Time Knight can be the unicorns, and Zombie Cam can be the Earth ponies.
Okay.
Fair
And
enough.
I'm still narrator.
Okay.
But I thought I was narrator.
Yeah.
Really?
You just assigned all the other characters to. Okay. How about Hair? Your. Okay. Look.
Okay, let's go.
Nero, you're Fluttershy. Time Knight, you're Twilight. Hair, you are all other main 6. Zombie Cam, you are all other non-main 6 ponies.
Okay.
Wait, what about me again?
And
You are Twilight.
Duhad,
Oh
and
boy.
Duhad, you're
I'm in.
Scruffy.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm Scruffy. Alright, let's do this.
Oh, right, okay.
Alright.
The next day, that irritating rooster announced the start of a new day.
Oh God, I need to jump in the shark tank.
References.
The
I
Department
swung
of
out
the
of-
Department of Redundancy Department.
Future events like these will affect you in the future.
Anyway,
Do you know what this could mean for a man of silence like me, and for science?
That reminds me of that time I did a report on New York buildings that were built in New York.
so
I swung
anyway,
out
okay.
of bed with a smile on my face.
Ah.
When I swung out of bed.
I
Yeah.
washed, dressed, and made my way downstairs to a somewhat peculiar sight. It was weird
Fascinating.
enough the other animals were all watching Fluttershy as she coached herself in the mirror.
No, so that's what they're calling it these days.
Remember, you're a winner. You're assertive.
She told herself.
Never apologize when you can criticize.
Oh boy.
I blinked a few times. Admittedly, this was not the weirdest thing I'd seen Fluttershy do. She is very sweet, very kind, but she's also a little strange. Like,
Okay, wait.
dress
wait.
up a flower pixie and dance to get weasels in the mood strange.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad. It's more like.
I have several questions.
I don't care.
Like,
Does
Moving
that
on.
actually work?
What? Yeah,
'Cause-
like, does that actually work? Has anyone
'Cause
ever
I have a
tested
few
that?
weasels that I need to mate.
Well, I
along
think
with that,
in order to
knowing
find out if it
Andrew's-
works, you'd have to know what a
knowing-
flower pixie looks like.
Also, knowing Andrew's track record for like very inaccurate information.
Okay.
It's going to
Moving
turn
on.
out you have to actually dress up like a dryad.
Mm.
For Dora.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway,
Moving
Then
on.
again,
moving along.
I like to talk to myself in the mirror a lot too. Good practice for talking.
What?
Oh,
Indeed.
God.
Like is
He has
your
to
line.
practice talking.
You just skipped a line.
No.
No, I didn't.
Yes, like.
No, he
He read
He
that
read
wrong.
that.
Oh, wait.
We
Okay, wait, hold on.
commented
Why
on
did
it.
you? Why did you write? Why did you read the bit in parentheses? Those are clearly quote marks.
So but that's not actually someone saying something.
Oh my god, you're right. That is so incredibly stupid. What the fuck? Anyway, continuing.
Well, really, having that in quote marks thing is correct,
Anyway.
potentially.
No, that's it was a
Okay.
quote. It's not a quote though. It's it's just a
Yeah,
statement.
it's-
Anyways. Ooh.
Anyway, good morning, Fluttershy.
I said with a smile. She jumped a bit, then turned and smiled at me.
Hello, Andrew. Good morning.
She trotted over to the table and held up some pieces of paper.
You got some work orders for today.
Oh, thanks.
I said with a smile, taking them. I looked them over. They were all very simple jobs, but they did pay well. I nodded at her.
Good. So, what are you up to today?
Oh, I'm going to try out my assertiveness training today.
Fluttershy said brightly.
I did the whole workshop yesterday, and I want to see how I do.
Well, good luck with that then.
I said with a smile. Fluttershy frowned.
Good luck.
Yes. I hope it goes well.
I clarified. Fluttershy continued to stare for a moment, before very slowly nodding and smiling again.
Oh, God. Yeah, I can very definitely see Crazy Fluttershy doing that.
Wait, hold on. I just realized who Andrew J. Talon should be, and I wouldn't have thought this before because I didn't watch the show until then. But I'm gonna switch up the voice very slightly.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and I just remembered Flatley counter needs to be open. So I got that done.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. How many we up to?
Continuing.
Sure. Thank you. We're up to 11, by the way.
Oh,
Oh,
She
God.
turned and trotted out the door. I shuddered a bit and wasn't quite sure why.
well, that was kind of weird.
I muttered. I looked up at the ceiling and groaned. Angel was nowhere to be seen.
Perfect.
Because he regularly hangs out on the ceiling.
Yes.
Well,
of
because
course.
remember in the last chapter he had taped him to the ceiling at the end.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Expecting Fluttershy not to notice and take him down.
Apparently, Fluttershy fucking didn't. Like, or at least he assumes she didn't because he's like, oh, well, she was here all morning, but, yeah, I don't see
didn't
any reason
notice
why.
that her pet rabbit was duct taped to the ceiling.
Oh, I thought he was
Wasn't wondering
stapled.
where he was.
No, he wasn't stapled. He was duct taped.
I know, that's the joke. Anyway, continuing.
Yeah.
Despite, I,
It's I thought we were still on perfect.
No, I said perfect. I grumbled.
I grumbled. I departed a few minutes later, wary of everything around me. I stepped down the path to the main road, where I happened upon a soaking wet Mr. Greenhooves. I blinked.
You all right, sir?
I asked. He shivered.
Oh, just fine, Mr. Fluttershy.
I sighed.
What?
Sir, I am not.
She's quite feisty today, your wife. You might want to look to her, see if you did anything to upset her.
The old stallion said. He squinted at me.
And also, you're standing on your back hooves. It ain't healthy to do that all the time.
I rolled my eyes.
Right, sir. I'll get right on that.
I headed back into town for my work, heedless of the air of doom that seemed to be hanging over my head. Then again, I was used to that. Are you doing Hank Hill?
No.
Oh.
I'm doing a character who is almost as emotionless and grumpy as Scruffy.
Which character?
You'll see in time. I'm taking, advantage of the fact that this is a character who lives entirely off the grid, who doesn't believe in the government, and is a woodworker by nature.
Christopher Walken's character from Blast from the Past?
The fuck type of movies do you watch? No! Okay, continuing.
Getting back into the swing of things, let me take my mind off of Fluttershy's unusual behavior. My first stop was City Hall, which had sustained a lot of damage to its roof from various sources. The residents had torn out the old, rotting support beams, and it was my job to drill the new one into place.
Oh dear.
One of these sources of destruction was alongside me now as I drilled a screw into the support beam on top of a ladder.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh, look, it's
Oh no! Oh shit!
Oh my god!
There's a.
She
Time night.
Oh dear. I didn't see
She-
Should I
this.
let Time take her voice?
Yeah,
or-
Time Night can take
Oh,
it.
boy.
Yes, I'll let you take her
Okay,
voice.
here we go.
She was a gray Pegasus who hovered nearby, her bright yellow eyes staring at me in wonder.
Okay.
Oh god, they're not cross-eyed!
I said with a sigh as I finished. I reached down and pressed my weight upon the beam. I checked the joint. I checked the joint. Okay, I checked the joint. I'd made sure there was a fairly large notch in it to help with the hold.
I think
Why
this
is
will
there a
work for this
hyphen
one.
there?
That I
Yes,
think
there
that
is.
should be a. It could potentially be supposed to be a dash, which should
But
be.
it's a hyphen.
If you can't type that, you should double the hyphen, or to be clearer, a semicolon.
Mm.
Yeah.
The
Semicolon
hyphen
would-
there makes it look like joint-eyed.
Joint tied.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it could be the fanfiction.net document editor, because I know that you can't do a double hyphen on the fanfiction.net a document manager, because it just takes
Well,
away the second
it works if
hyphen.
you assume that that's like
it
some sort of
probably
race or something.
yeah.
I checked the jointed
But I'm-
made.
Yeah,
It's taking what the jointed
But
had made.
I
can
do
see why it
know
takes
that
those double hyphen.
semicolons work.
probably a sequel thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on,
Yeah.
because grammar's boring.
I turned to my assistant with a smile.
Let's move on to the next one, and let's move the next one into position.
Okie dokie.
She said cheerfully. She flew off, and I slowly moved along the parts of the roof that were still intact to the next support beam to be replaced. For this job, I employed a bit of rope to tie the beam off. I then used a handsaw to cut through the beam, cutting the same notches into the connecting pieces at the edge of the roof.
I hope they at least paid the rope minimum wage.
Yeah.
It was slow going, but I managed to get both of them done by the time my assistant flew back. Her wings were beating hard as she carried the beam via a rope in her mouth. Slowly, she lowered it, and I slid back with a smile and waved my hands.
Come on. Come on. Easy. Easy does it.
I called. Her wings were beating hard enough to be heard. like helicopter blades, spinning above her. And the new beam came down slowly.
I believe that
then
most
she
of the
tilted a
fan
little
fiction we
bit.
read should contain at least 20% more carpentry.
And then
It is
she
frankly a
tilted
disgrace
a little bit
that-
too much, and then she crashed into the highway.
And then he crashed a helicopter.
Dang it.
No,
What is it
No.
with me and helicopters today?
no, and then dropped, knocking the old beam out of place and swinging the new beam right above me. I yelped and fell over, grabbing onto the rope that secured the old beam tight. I skidded down the rope, wincing as the rope burned against my face.
Why do you
Makes
have
me
your face
wonder
against
how
the rope?
you're grabbing the rope. Did you, like, bite it?
He's just
But
like
he's,
using
like,
his
holding on with
face
his
as
eyelids.
a carabiner. He's just like using it to slow himself down.
Wow. Dude,
like
you
holding
need
on
to
with
go
his
to the
eyelids.
eye doctor after that shit. Holy crap.
But I managed to come to a stop. I looked up and saw the Pegasus staring down with an apologetic look on her face.
I'm very sorry.
You got an apologetic look on your face? Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, you got it.
Well, there we go.
She cried, which let go of the new support beam.
Crap.
I cursed and let go of the rope, the beam plummeting for me. I threw myself to the side, landing on my stomach with a whomp.
Whoa, no, sorry, no, that is not your line. This is the middle, this is clearly designated as something he's saying.
I think that would be
Wait,
supposed to be a sound
no,
effect, which I think
no,
would fall under zombie cam.
No,
that was not actually
actually-
written that way.
Actually-
It is written as him saying with a whomp,
As the beam hit the floor behind me with a loud
crunch. He is narrating for the sake of the of the sounds.
I had covered my eyes out of reflex, and when I opened them, I saw the gray Pegasus smiling nervously at me.
Oops.
She said. I sighed and leaned back.
Is there any particular reason you were assigned to help me, miss?
Derpy hooves.
She said proudly. She rubbed her chin. Seductively.
And the reason I've been assigned to this job is because I helped break the city tall building.
So when
What?
someone clumsiness results in property damage, you have them move large things through that same building in the assumption that they've used up all their clumsiness already.
That makes sense to me.
I stared.
Uh-huh. And you want to help to fix it because...
It's my responsibility.
Derpy said cheerfully. I sighed and rubbed my head.
I see.
I stood up and held my hands. So
Please
is that
wait
a
here,
title drop
Derpy.
in this fic? It's kind of hard to tell.
Well, the name's so goddamn generic that, yeah, literally anything in these chapters could end up being a reference.
Okie
I bet
dokie.
he's like sitting there while he's writing that, and whenever he types out the word hands, he's just like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
said
that's
it.
clever."
Title drop.
She said cheerfully, saluting me. I marched right to the mayor's office and knocked on her door.
This is about to
Come
use-
in.
She said, and I entered.
Squiggly line.
She looked up from some paperwork with a bright smile.
Oh, hello, Andrew. Nice to see you again.
Same Miss Mayor.
I replied.
I've really got to ask if you can assign some more help to me on the roof.
Is that voice Barack Obama?
No, that is not Barack Obama.
I don't
It
think
would be
Barack Obama was really
hilarious
into
if it was,
carpentry.
though.
Barack Obama would be more along the lines of like, I've really got to ask you if you can assign more help to me on the roof. Miss Mayor, I feel that Miss Hooves, while an incredible addition to the team, has been not really working out as well as other people could.
Where are we?
More
That
help.
line doesn't match
More line.
anything that I...
That is a
Oh.
improv.
Okay.
More
The-
help?
The mayor said with a frown.
I thought you said you could handle it with a few Pegasi.
Well, yeah, But at the moment, I only have one Pegasi, and it's Derpy.
I said,
Here it comes.
"Flattery!"
Number 12.
The mayor winced.
Ah, yes.
She rose from her seat with a frown.
That is odd. Every pony should be back from their lunch break by now.
It's the problem,
She
like
pushed-
the way this is kind of going, it almost sounds like it's going to get into like a fucking South Park skit where it's just like, yeah, but the problem is the only pony I have on hand is Derpy. Do do do, like the dramatic music. She gets up, walks to the window. Oh, it's that way.
Oh.
Boys, you have to realize that Derpy is a very important Pegasi.
So I like
Yes,
how
right?
everyone went to lunch. He knows the only person there is Derpy, and that he needs more than one Pegasi assisting him, but decides to work through lunch anyway.
And it's Derpy.
Anyway.
She pushed past my legs into the hallway and trotted down to the other offices.
She pushed past his legs.
I guess she
She-
ducked and went between his legs, or
Either
What?
that, or he
Shoved
really
him
thinks
out of
these
the
ponies
way?
are small, and it's just like she's like literally coming up to his fucking knees and having to like push past him because like that's
Oh,
all she
come
needs to do.
on!
or he's like actually standing there trying to block the door, and she's shoving her way through.
I can see
I
that.
I watched her go and sighed, shaking my head. The least I could do would be to fix up the beam, so I headed to the construction site. Back to the construction site. Derpy was there, cheerfully eating some muffins.
Wait,
She
so the mayor
grinned
didn't
as I came
actually
by.
do anything.
No, she broke shit and now she's
she-
eating muffins.
No,
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 the
Derpy.
mayor
the
didn't do
mayor.
anything.
She went
Oh,
to the
no.
offices.
Oh, everyone should be back now, and then walked off.
Yep.
Hello, boss. Want a muffin?
She
Oh
asked,
my god,
holding
you
one
sound
out.
like Larry the Cucumber there, Time Knight.
Sure.
He actually
I
does
shrugged
a
and
little bit
smiled,
this time.
taking
For
one.
once, you got that right.
Yes!
As I
Well-
ate it, she chattered amiably about the difficulties she had in getting said muffin.
I mean, there was.
Fascinating.
I mean, there was this big line right outside of Sugar Cube Corner. It just came out of nowhere, and then there was this huge pile of garbage on the bridge, and I like to look at fish from, so I slipped in it, and I had to go take a shower.
Uh huh. I like this story. It contains nothing but descriptions of government being inefficient, people buying things, and woodworking. I wish more stories were like it.
I replied politely, nodding every so often. I kept my eyes peeled. Frankly, Angel's revenge could come from anywhere, and this
What?
seemed like an ideal place for an ambush,
Wait, what?
high up in the sky in a construction area.
What?
That
What?
crazy
Oh,
rabbit
God.
might come from anywhere.
This guy
was
is
all-
Got like a sniper
What the
rifle.
fuck is this
Like the
line?
adjacent building.
I was already wishing I had my
Oh my
gun.
god.
Wow, that
hand
is
cannon,
actually really fucked up.
Hey Angel, I know I tied you up and like
Okay,
stuck
hang
you
on,
to
guys, I need to step away
a
from the
thing, but
computer for a
when you
second.
come for revenge, I will shoot you.
This is
Oh.
just- Whoa.
Oh my god.
This is the
Anyway,
most paranoid
It's like an
person
it's
on.
an exploitation
Sorry,
movie in
okay,
reverse. We're like following the bastard.
Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, people are being really rowdy upstairs for whatever reason.
Well, it's not coming through, so it's fine.
Well, you should have your gun or hand cannon.
No! I'm not gonna shoot them for being too loud! What the fuck kind of insanity is that? No, that's
About
the
as
Are you
kind of
paying
insane
attention to our
as
conversation?
assuming a
NBC on the
small
6
rabbit.
o'clock news. I don't want to be on NBC on 6 o'clock and the news for shooting someone. I want to be there if the Met does anything I compose. Ugh.
You clearly
Anyway.
weren't paying attention to the context of that response.
No, I saw the wishing I had a hand cannon thing already. Ugh.
anyways.
Anyway,
Which is why it's so fucked up in the story too. What the shit is this, Entertain Talon? What the fuck is wrong with you? Do I need to check you into a mental hospital? What the fuck?
It's more of just along the lines of, oh god, he's gonna get me.
Answer
It's
to
a
the first
bunny.
question. Shit. Answer to the second question. Andrew J. Talon. Answer to the third question. I don't think he really qualifies. Answer to the fourth question. Andrew J. Talon.
Not cool! Not cool! Totally lame!
Anyway, time night.
And then Rainbow Dash said she was fed up with my shenanigans. I didn't mean to cause shenanigans. I just wanted a broom.
Okay, Sassy the cucumber is hilarious.
I said with a final nod. I stood up.
Well, Derpy, what do you say to finishing this beam up?
You know, the one you nearly killed me with.
Mm-hmm.
I looked up with a frown.
Doesn't look like anyone else has come back from lunch. What do you say?
Oh, sure.
Derpy said cheerfully.
Just, don't talk during it, okay? I don't like feelings, and you're expressing many of them right now.
Wow.
I said, Derpy nodded happily.
Not a problem.
She made a zipping her lips motion. Yeah, I feel a lot of these quote marks really should be hyphens.
Yes.
Yes.
I nodded and smiled.
Don't talk during it, okay? Well, that's probably because she...
Don't talk while you're holding things in your mouth.
Well, I guess that's true.
I didn't want to get the hilarious payoff to this.
Uh-oh.
A completely silent Derpy may not have been the best choice either, I reflected, as I lay in a heap
Of
on the
broken
City
bones.
Hall steps.
Oh, my.
Sorry, boss. I wanted to say
Derpy
look
shouted.
out. I wanted to say look out for that flock of geese, but
No, it's fine.
I sighed.
Really.
I twitched.
Ow.
Thankfully, I didn't need to spend another night at the hospital.
Good,
I hadn't
because we
broken
don't need
anything.
you complaining again.
Just bruised it nice and hard, and a quick healing spell saw me returning to City Hall. I frowned as I noted that the rest of the work crew was now milling about, looking distracted, save for Derpy, who was cheerfully working with a whistle.
Wow, step it up, other guys.
Yeah, Jesus. So what took all of you guys so long?
I asked as soon as I'd ascended to the roof.
I have ascended!
Oh, God, why?
One Pegasus, a stallion in green, grimaced.
So this is me.
Yeah, it's you.
Some rude Pegasus just up and monopolized the restaurant we go to.
He said.
She wouldn't let any pony else be seated until all her needs were met.
Okay.
I winced.
Go to another restaurant.
Sheesh.
No, right? What the
Sounds
hell?
like a real piece of work.
You don't-
Now get back to work.
I couldn't get coffee because the same Pegasus took so many cups. I didn't get any for myself.
Oh,
I'm
that's-
even
that's a
wondering
different one.
about the idea of how much coffee do you need that you have to take all the cups?
I'm not
Do you have a
sure.
gigantic mouth and are trying to drink like 6 cups at once?
That was a female Pegasus. but-
A pink,
Oh,
pink female Pegasus sighed.
That's not my problem. Get back to work.
Well, no, hold
Also-
on. Here we go. The reason for the deep voice is it's a transgendered female Pegasus.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
What? The fic is now an equal opportunity fic.
Okay, fair enough.
I-
Okay, moving on.
I looked at the last Pegasus, a guy in gray fur.
What happened to you?
He trembled.
She said I looked tacky.
He whimpered.
Aw. Okay, this person
His
seems really-
dreams of being a man, his dreams of being a smart-dressed man had been utterly crushed. And he knows
Because
that
every
every
girl's
girl's
crazy
crazy
about
about
a
a smart-dressed
sharp-dressed
man.
man.
Yeah, sharp-dressed man.
Yep. Ugh.
Anyway.
I blinked a few times.
Uh-huh.
I sighed.
Look, guys, we just have to finish the support beams today. Then we can get off the roof. We can do the roofing. Why don't we all just focus and get it done?
Yeah,
I
why
got a
don't you
round.
just get it done instead of bitching about it?
Hmm.
I got a
Can we
round of
build it?
unenthusiastic replies. But we did manage to get the support beams in place before it was time to call it a day. Derpy cheerfully waved, while all of the other ponies seemed rather disturbed. I called the mental hospital to inform them.
Oh God.
Now, they just are all dressed up like members of Disturbed.
I didn't really get it. Maybe ponies
neither.
were more easily upset. Nah, that was probably a generalization. Hell, I'd seen Fluttershy stare down a T-Rex, and Twilight blast some nameless horror back into its lair in the woods. They were made of sterner stuff. Sterner stuff
Which is
is how you
also a
describe the
generalization.
ponies. No, sterner stuff is how he describes the ponies of Ponyville. Look at the reaction to
Oh
Zecora.
my God! Why is there
Look-
shouting going on outside?
Look at the reaction to a swarm of bunnies. The horror,
yeah.
the horror.
They're not very stern.
Sterner stuff.
They're more like brittle
Yep.
and breakable, like Raditzes.
Yeah,
Maybe
really,
they
right?
were just having an off day.
Like everybody around here, right?
In any event, I made it to Fluttershy's cottage. Exhausted, achy, and confused. And note that the way that's written, I think that exhausted, achy, and confused is meant to describe her cottage. My
Well,
conclusion,
actually,
however...
it's not the description of the cottage. That is the way it's stated. That is the name of her cottage. Fluttershy's cottage, exhausted, achy, and
Yeah.
confused.
That pretty much.
Well, that actually makes more sense.
Slightly.
Because, I mean, think about it. It's a home for, tired, injured, and lost animals.
Yeah, and like it's the same thing. Like I'm exhausted, achy, and confused. Hi, exhausted, achy, and confused. I'm Nero. That kind of thing.
Yes.
My confusion, however, was only going to grow as I entered the cottage.
Foreshadowing.
The hordes of cute little animals that were usually within were all gone. In their place were piles of meat and skeletons. I'm sorry,
Fluttershy
in
covered
their
in
place
blood.
stood Fluttershy, giggling to herself as she lounged on the couch.
Yep, she's lost her marbles.
On the coffee table in front of her, there were several cups of coffee. Which means she went to the restaurant, took all their cups of coffee, filled them, and then took them all home.
Yes.
And
Wow.
then
Got
drank her
several of
coffee.
them.
Okay, this is excessive even for what was shown in the show. I mean, Jesus.
Well, it has to be more over the top so that Andrew can be mad and fix it.
Oh God.
She looked up at me and smirked. Well, hold on. That would be an improvement, because so far he hasn't done shit.
True.
He has had things happen to him.
Yes, he's a very passive protagonist.
That's true. Oh God. Oh God.
Welcome
Someone-
home,
Looked at
Andrew.
me and smirked.
Well,
Ninjas, get the bolt tag. Get the bolt tag.
Okay, for
ninjas.
fuck's sake, you cannot just make references to Library of the Damned and assume everyone's going to get them. He's referring
I
to the
don't
Department
care.
of Redundancy Department. It is because it is a redundant statement. Moving along.
I stared back at Fluttershy, managing a friendly smile as I offered to my landman. Okay, yeah, this is
What?
worded weird. I stared back at Fluttershy, managing a friendly smile as I usually offered to my landmare every day I got back from work.
What? Okay.
Good
that
evening,
is
Fluttershy.
I said.
I, take it you had a busy day.
She stretched and smiled cheerfully.
oh yes, a wonderful busy day.
That's good to hear.
I said carefully. We were both silent for a moment. The audience was grateful.
Mhm.
There was a tension in the room, a tension that just kept building. I decided, idiot that I was, he admits it, that I was going to head it off as quickly as possible.
That's
I
what she
wiped
said.
my forehead and sighed.
Well, I'm exhausted.
I headed for the kitchen.
I think I'll have a quick dinner, then shower, then bed. Good night.
Now, hold on, there's not a
The best
punctuation
nuts.
there. Reread that last part.
I think I'll just have a quick dinner, then shower, then bed. Good night.
Yeah, then bed good night.
And bed good night.
Good, good night. Wow.
Your sister, good night. She is a wonderful lay.
Jesus Christ. Wow, that's pretty bad.
So Nero,
Well, did.
I froze. I very slowly turned my head to look at Fluttershy, who was staring intensely at me.
Yes.
I asked, turning to face her. She smiled again. Like one of those creepy serial killers you see on the television.
Nero.
I want a massage.
Okay.
I said, shrugging.
Sure.
Truth be told, this made me feel a little better.
Oh,
I mean, it was just a massage, right? How much trouble could a massage cause? It's
Oh,
not like I've
God.
done those before and had it cause immense trouble. Repeatedly. Every single time it's happened.
In
What
every
kind-
chapter of the
what
story,
kind
this has
of-
gone bad for you, son. You should probably consider not doing it.
I know,
My
right?
mind nastily reminded me of Applejack and Twilight. But I dutifully ignored them and sat down on the couch next to Fluttershy.
I
I
didn't know
figured
dutifully.
if I'm going to be raped by a pony, it may as well be her.
At least
I
they-
didn't know that dutifully was a synonym for completely idiotically.
I know, right?
She laid down and looked up at me expectantly. I rubbed my
she said-
hands together and began my work on the muscles of her back as
Clear.
efficiently and in as business-like a fashion as I could.
That's what she said. Turns out he...
She hummed happily before she spoke.
Okay, why is the baby screaming in the background?
I don't know. Whose kid is that?
I think it's because he's hearing the story.
Fair enough.
I had a great day today. Iron Willow's training really helped me.
She sighed.
I heard.
I said carefully. She looked back at me.
What did you hear?
She asked cheerfully.
Oh.
How to phrase it properly.
Well, my work crew was late getting back from lunch, apparently due to some of your assertiveness.
Fluttershy's eyes widened for a moment, before narrowing. She was very indecisive. She huffed.
They were in my way, and when some pony blocks, show them your cock. I mean, it's time to rock.
Okay.
Fluttershy, they were not in your
Collector,
way.
put
According
the
to the
knife
story,
down.
you were in their way. They were attempting to get past you in order to achieve their goals of getting lunch, and you refused to move. Therefore, your analogy does not work in the current situation, is what I would say if I was written by someone who had paid attention to what they had written before.
On the other hand, if they'd paid attention to the things she did, that wouldn't even have been the case, because, you know, they saw that she cut in line.
Yes.
So they were in her way, albeit rightfully so.
Yes. What does that even mean? I almost got crushed by Ditzy because of that. That is directly
Wait.
your fault.
Wait,
Excuse me?
wasn't she called
Hold
Derpy earlier?
Yes.
Now he switched to
Yes.
calling her Ditzy?
Oh my god. Okay, this dude wrote this scene in like a week. After a week.
That it wasn't paying attention.
Continuity errors.
But even then, here's the thing. People that write her name as Ditzy usually almost always call her Ditzy. They're used to it. People who call her Derpy pretty much always call her Derpy. People that call her Bright Eyes pretty much always call her Bright Eyes.
Who the fuck
You
calls
only
her
call her-
Bright Eyes?
That was a
Never had
name
anyone
very early in the fandom.
That's pretty
No.
fucking stupid.
In fact, actually, I think like the first fanfic that had her as the main character used Bright Eyes.
Right, that one never really stuck on.
And
People
the,
that call her Stoneface pretty much always call her Stoneface.
That's another one
And
that's not
which
really
we
that
call-
popular.
Actually,
turn
that
about-
one's to answer your
Anyway,
question as
the
to who
point is-
uses that
Wall
one.
Eyes, I've heard, not Stoneface.
Turnabout
Well, here's the thing.
Storm.
That's the term that the show staff use before they found out the fandom had a name for her. So like up
Oh.
through season 2.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So, Turnabout Storm actually displays all the most used fandom names, including Bright Eyes. But that one's used only once in the entirety of a 9-hour-long thing. So,
Yeah,
The
anyway.
point is, it's inconsistent as shit, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, Nero, get ready. I said flatly, still massaging her back.
13.
Fluttershy sniffed. How do I smell?
Oh God.
Fluttershy would have been the one who didn't get to lunch on time, or just crushed, or didn't snort that shit.
Pound of fucking line! Yeah! Fluttershy power!
Oh, I imagine her doing like the creepy smelling a person thing.
No, she's
New
taking a sniff.
Fluttershy.
New Fluttershy! Yeah! New Fluttershy's on top of things!
New Fluttershy is perfectly content with getting incredibly high off cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys, hang on. I need to shut
She
the
gets it
neighbors
from
upstairs.
Snowflake.
I'll be right back.
You need to go murder that baby.
She gets her cocaine from Snowflame.
He's powered by coke.
She's also perfectly content with getting what she wants, which is more cocaine.
I see.
I said, now very concerned.
Rub between my wings.
She commanded. I did so,
50
and
Shades
she
of Yellow.
trembled underneath me. She let out a deep, throaty moan. Congratulations, you've given her an orgasm.
I just had sex.
Oh no, you didn't. She did.
It's...
You are
gave
now
someone
just
sex.
realizing what it was.
She smirked.
She smirked up at me.
How about the other side? Ooh, baby.
Where?
How
I
about that
fucking
other side?
apologize for that.
It's alright.
Oh, okay.
How about the other side next?
I withdrew my hands. The fic was deleted, and we no longer had to read it.
Woo!
Wait, what are you guys?
She started and stared up at me in surprise.
What? Why did you stop? Oh, that's...
That-
Fluttershy... Okay, so Fluttershy, then paragraph, new paragraph, then new paragraph, then Fluttershy.
Oh my God! They literally
What?
did the exact joke that I was going to make. Oh
What?
God!
Why did you stop?
Well, because I want to talk to old Fluttershy.
I said as calmly as I could manage.
Oh God! This
Bad
is
Doom by Network.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
God, go
Okay,
for-
when did Fluttershy turn into Gollum?
Old
No, Zool.
Fluttershy isn't here. There's only new Fluttershy.
Fluttershy growled.
Okay, we need to find the One Ring. She needs the One Ring. Clearly,
no.
she needs
We need to
it.
find the Keymaster.
Ah,
We need to find the Keymaster.
Yes. I am master of magics. Old Flutter... Let's hear. Oh. New Fluttershy, you're nuts. Now let's be serious.
No, it's
I
oh,
said-
new Fluttershy, you nut.
Let's be serious.
I said. I took hold of her hooves and looked imploringly into her eyes.
Come
it was
on.
on my
man,
word of the
that's a
day
large
calendar.
Come on. You coming to terms with your own inner darkness is boring. I have to be the one to guide you out of it. Come on, old
Especially when,
Fluttershy,
it
you
doesn't-
know...
especially when coming to terms with your inner darkness does not involve beating a shadow version of you.
I reject new Fluttershy. She is not me.
I am a shadow. The
I
true
reject
self.
I reject your Fluttershy and substitute it with my own.
No, you don't get it. Like, this is actually, like,
I
almost
know.
fucking
I played
perfect.
Persona
Yeah.
4.
I'm just saying, like, that's actually completely perfect. Like, we could
Yeah.
totally have... That would totally be a thing. It's just like, Fluttershy's like, no,
So-
that's not me. I'm not new Fluttershy at all.
Pony Sona?
Yes, that would be a thing. Anyway,
No, I have too many
I still need to
projects
get
around
already.
for
old
writing
Fluttershy, you
I
know,
need to get
sweet,
around
kind,
to-
gentle Fluttershy.
I need
Oh,
to get
God.
around to writing that self-insert Persona 4 fanfic.
Oh,
Anyway,
Oh God!
Ha is your line.
She scoffed.
You just want to talk to the old Fluttershy because she was a pushover. You aren't pushing me around, didn't you?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I asked.
What?
that's not a question.
Jesus Christ.
Well, the question mark indicates sort of uncertainty. Making a normal statement as a question usually indicates uncertainty. So he's not sure if he's sorry.
sorry.
So he's not sure if he's not
What?
sure if he's asking. a
Well, I
question or
mean,
not.
Because he's not sure what to be sorry for, so that's
Yeah.
not really
Sorry?
at the stake.
I'm sorry. What?
Yes,
Sorry?
that is exactly what she said.
Okay,
Yeah.
was this guy paying attention during the actual Iron Will episode?
No, because
I don't
in the
think-
original episode, Fluttershy was able to come to terms with her own problems. Now she needs a man to do it for her.
No, not just that, but I would distinctly remember that Fluttershy did not talk about herself like goddamn Gollum, and why the... You're hearing
Actually,
some
she
of that
did
noise
reference-
in
Yeah,
my
she did
background.
refer
She
to
did
herself
talk
as-
about old Fluttershy and new Fluttershy.
Yeah.
That's from
Yeah,
the
I'm
show.
hearing
And
some of
the
this noise in
the
the
line
background,
about you
right?
just want to push her around is a
The
direct
most
quote.
Background noise.
Yeah.
The most background noise we were hearing here was basically just the baby.
Yes, it's not
And a
out
little
of
bit of it.
it's not out of character.
That
it's just
wasn't
that
my
it's
background
just
noise.
completely ripped off from the
That
show.
was someone else's background noise.
Well, you're the only one who
well,
heard
then
it.
we're not hearing. We are literally hearing none of yours.
Anyway,
Yeah, because there's a really rowdy snowball fight going on outside, and I'm hearing everybody shout beyond my headphones. I can hear it through my goddamn headphones while the rest of you guys are talking.
okay, well, at any rate,
That's nice.
You enjoy pushing me around, having me at your beck and call.
Give me a second.
And you enjoy it because you are alone on this world.
That's what she said.
Yes, it is what she said. She just said it.
yes,
She
And I don't-
continued,
she's
glaring at me directly, as opposed to all the time she glared indirectly.
Totally alone. You're a weak alien. That's what you are. Too weak to be honest about why you hung out with me before.
You're right. I am a weak alien.
I don't have acid
I
blood or
bursted out of a weak
exoskeleton.
person. Yeah, I burst out of a weak pony's chest. My acid
Right.
blood can like barely leave an etch on your wooden floor,
You're right. You're me, and I'm you.
and the
Dude,
mouth
That's
inside my
much
mouth
penis.
doesn't have teeth, so it kind of have to gum you to death.
Wow.
Yep, my jaw dropped. Is your line?
My jaw dropped.
What?
Then I picked it
You
back
might
up.
want to pick it up.
Where you know?
Johnny,
This is
drop your face.
this is about you.
I
I
said flatly.
Flatly.
Number 14. Number
Da, da,
14.
da, da, da.
You're the one who's acting
That's
like you've
30
gone
times as-
insane.
That's it.
Fluttershy said angrily.
You are just ignoring. You're just
Oh.
you're just avoiding the issue.
What
I
issue?
drank too much coffee.
We're not talking about issues here. This is not about feelings. This is about you acting crazy. I don't.
Well,
You're like a
new
terrible
Fluttershy
person.
won't have jerks under her roof.
She growled. And not the sexy kind of growl, the angry kind.
Oh, God.
She rose
Not,
Up
not
on
the
her
angry
back
sexy
hooves.
Kind, I'm assuming.
and struck me in the chest with both of them.
Oh, wow.
It-
Okay, new Fluttershy.
Given the
You-
strength of horses, this caused my sternum to cave in, and I began bleeding immediately.
Okay, yeah, Andrew J. Talent. Here's the thing. We need to sit down in an intervention because you clearly did not pay any attention to the show you claim to love.
Yeah.
It is,
Jesus.
however, not the most inaccurate we've had.
This
That's
is
That is
true.
Anyway, continuing.
I was sent sprawling onto the floor as she hovered above me, her eyes narrowed in anger. I held up my hands defensively.
I didn't push you around. You volunteered to let me stay with you. I pay rent, I do chores.
I was now feeling desperate.
I can find that spot you really like between your wings. I will trade you sexual favors in exchange for allowing me to remain under your roof.
Get out.
Oh,
She
God.
snarled.
Out right now. You Fluttershy will not tolerate this.
Discretion, it has been said, is the better part of valor. So I very slowly nodded.
All right. Clearly you want some time to yourself. That's all right.
I grabbed a change of clothes, a few other essentials like my toothbrush, and got out as fast as I could.
Oh God.
Oh boy, here we go.
30 minutes later, I was in front of Rapist Twilight's house. The moment she opened it, I let it spill. She was very happy about this.
I let it spill. It got on her carpet, so she got really mad at me.
Fluttershy has been possessed and we need to save her immortal soul.
Okay, to be fair to Andrew J. Town, that is probably the only way that any of that would have been possible.
Yes.
Twilight blinked.
Good morning.
Good evening to you too.
Hey, welcome back home, Andrew.
I think you mean, hey, welcome to my
Welcome
shed.
back home.
No,
And-
because she's not Twilight
No,
isn't a murderer. She's a
Welcome back
rapist.
home.
Oh,
and-
okay.
Wait,
Welcome back
Fat
home,
Albert was a
and-
rapist?
The person
I
who
don't
put-
remember that episode.
It's not so much Fat Albert.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Too
go in there.
soon.
Go in there.
I remember
Too
when Fat Albert
soon.
got a hernia, but I don't remember when Fat Albert was a rapist.
Oh God.
Anyway. So yeah,
I said earnestly.
Fluttershy is possessed, possibly by this Iron Will guy. I don't know.
He told
Maybe
me
he's
that my
infecting
mother
ponies
sucks-
with his spirit, turning them into
He told
evil,
me that-
malevolent bitches, just like my ex-wife.
Oh.
He told me that my mother sucks cocks in hell.
I believe that every woman I've ever dated after we stopped dating was possessed by a malevolent spirit that turned her into a bitch, which is to say that all of my exes are bitches. I am not a misogynist, I am merely stating a fact.
Wow.
Andrew, breathe.
I said. No, wait. Twilight said, reaching up and resting her hooves on my shoulders.
Just relax. Breathe. Now take off your
Ignore
shirt.
the thing.
Right.
Ignore the small, long item slipping into your butt.
Oh,
I
God.
said, taking deep breaths.
Relax.
She massaged my shoulders, and her face was curiously close. I looked up into her eyes. She looked into mine. Clearly, her friend being possessed by demons was the sexiest thing ever.
Right, I'm relaxed.
I said quickly, scooting away and clearing my throat. She sighed and nodded.
Wait, hold on. Wait, where are we?
Right.
Oh, right.
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 Her horn lit up as several books came forth, coming to a rest on the coffee table.
I wouldn't worry too much. She's probably just, going a little overboard.
Oh!
Seriously, Twilight, would you let, Seriously, Twilight, would you at least go talk to her? She's basically thrown me out.
I said flatly.
Da 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 da. That's number 15.
Twilight sighed and patted me on
It
the
will
thigh.
actually, if we go through the entirety of this story, it will rack up to over 100 quite quickly after a while.
Yeah.
I have no doubt.
The padding began to move more toward the middle.
All
right.
right.
Okay, Carson.
I will.
She said kindly.
Though, you could just move back in with me.
Oh
It.
dear.
I sighed and looked at the ceiling.
I think it's a little overcrowded in here already.
What with that ceiling and all.
Oh my God!
You could just share my bed.
Twilight
Oh
suggested with a bright smile.
My God.
I stared at her in disbelief. Twilight shook her head rapidly.
I didn't mean it like that.
She insisted.
Did I?
I mean, I do want to fuck you, but not. That wasn't what I meant by that.
I want to
It's not
have
on the bed.
sex with you just all over the place. Not on the bed, though.
Oh my God.
Keep that for the really kinky stuff.
No.
Well, how did you mean it?
I demanded.
I just mean, we share a bed. I used to do it with Spike all the time.
His
And I bet you
penis
talk-
was huge.
Innuendo.
Yeah. And I bet
In
you talked to
your
him
endo.
about how his species reproduces all the time.
Twilight said.
No,
No. Oh, you did.
Twilight
oh, you did
didn't
that already.
say that.
I thought that was a joke that he was making. No, that's actually the next line.
Yeah.
I said, growing angrier. Twilight stepped back and scowled.
Yes, of course I did. I'm Twilight Sparkle. Of course I asked those questions.
Duh.
What exactly are you implying anyway?
I don't know. What are you implying?
Ow.
No, you hang up.
What do
I don't
you
know
think
what
I'm
we're yelling
implying?
about. Quite frankly, I'm confused.
What do you think? What do you think I'm implying?
Oh, this is
Twilight
the
demanded.
stupidest conversation
I know
ever.
you are, but what am I?
I
know
wish we
you
were
are,
back
but
at the
what am I?
woodworking
I
part of
know
this
you are, but
chapter.
what am I?
That part made sense to me.
I know, right?
Because
I know you are, but what am I? Infinity.
it sounds like you're
Twilight.
because
He's
it
reading
sounds
the
like you're
line.
implicating me for something you think I'm implying.
I'm not implying anything.
I shouted back.
You're shouting pretty loud about not implying anything.
Twilight growled back right in my face.
That's only because you're denying your implications of anything.
I
Jeez.
shouted back.
This is
There was a
about-
loud. And then Twilight is acting pretty much just as bad as Fluttershy too with this
Yeah.
argument, but
Jesus, right?
there was a loud groan from upstairs, and a sleepy-looking dragon peered down from his partially open door.
Right. Would you two please take this outside?
Spike said.
Well, yeah, Spike said.
Or
What does
at
that mean?
least argue in a... Well, I haven't had any lines.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
That
yeah.
will be fine.
yeah. Or at least argue in a less noisy way. Pretty please? I don't want to have to breathe fire on any of you.
Sorry, Spike.
Sorry,
We
Spike.
both said together. The dragon grumbled something about mammals I'm not going to repeat here.
Mammals always fucking each other into the night. God.
Goddamn warm-blooded bastards.
Suffice to say, it made Twilight blush, but not actually respond in any way about Spike's behavior. It's apparently, although embarrassing, that sort of stuff is perfectly appropriate for a dragon of his age. And I
Yeah.
looked at the ceiling with a heavy sigh. There was silence for a while before I spoke again.
Right, so, the demonic possession.
I said,
How do we fix it?
Are you sure you are not just overacting to her going through a mood swing?
Twilight asked.
She could be on her period.
Nope, they're estral. It works differently.
Twilight asked. You haven't seen
Twilight.
her.
I emphasized.
Really?
Twilight
God.
sighed.
Look, we're both really, really tired. Let's just call it a day and rest. We'll do something about Fluttershy tomorrow. But right now, neither of us is thinking straight.
Right.
Well, hey, Ken,
I said with a
goddamn
nod.
Snowball fight outside.
You can come sleep with me.
Oh my
Twilight said.
God.
I gaped at her in astonishment, but she looked at me with a little bit of steely determination.
You are seriously implying that we actually fuck after the entire argument about whether or not you were implying we should have sex. You do realize that you are an insane person. You can't sleep anywhere else. This isn't large or comfortable
Wait.
surface.
Wait, no, that's
I
me.
think that's Twilight.
God damn, yeah, Twilight has a new paragraph in which to continue the conversation she started in one line of the
Well,
last paragraph.
Hold on. They did properly indicate that that's what's happening, though, by not have. Oh no, wait, no, they didn't.
No, they did not.
Because the quote didn't make it to the end of the paragraph.
Yes.
Anyways, you can't sleep anywhere else. There isn't a large or comfortable enough surface. And whatever you think my intentions are, all I want is to sleep and for you to be comfortable.
We'll deal with the
While
rest
we're having
after you've
sex.
fallen asleep. She took a deep breath and glared at me.
All right.
So, just as a quick point of reference, this is referencing episodes that happened that happened after Look Before You Sleep. The episode which showed that Twilight, in fact, has a second bed.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's some shenanigans going on around here.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it.
it's freaking
Here's the thing is,
Andrew J. Talon.
Andrew the character does not necessarily know she has a second bed.
Yeah, it's still a fucking bullshit, stupid argument, because it's like, we're supposed to take from this that, like, Twilight's intentions are actually kind of, like, ambiguous. But they're clearly rapey because, you know, we know as an audience, no, she has a fucking second bed. This is a bullshit argument that she's making.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, continue. Twilight.
Let's
Well.
see. Well,
Well, she asked, tapping her hoof impatiently. I nodded.
All right.
good.
Twilight said, trotting upstairs. I stared after her for a long moment and sighed. I shook my head at my own stupidity.
Once more into the breach, dear friends.
I quoted Henry V as I slowly ascended the stairs.
Once
What
more
are you
into
talking-
into her breach, dear friends. From the Henry V porno.
Oh, God. No, no, no.
And as the last note from Andrew J. Talon himself, relax, guys, at no point will this turn into a claw fic. That doesn't mean I won't make jokes about it, though.
That doesn't make it any better!
It makes it a little bit better, mostly
No, it
because this
doesn't.
story is awful and I don't want to have to think about it involving sex. Any steps we take to get away from sex are steps in a positive direction as far as I'm concerned.
In a total of 4 chapters, he's used the word flatly 15 times.
That is depressing. Well, at any rate, I've been Duhad, that was Rydell.
Well, just given
There's
where
Herr
this seems to be
Wutzig.
going with Twilight, that certain gentlemen now abed may think themselves accursed
There's Herr Wutzig.
and hold their
Hi.
manhoods cheap.
That was Nero.
Let's read.
There's Time Knight.
I have an affliction deep within my loins.
And finally, we have Zombie
no,
Cam.
not you too.
Let us read it.
Don't think that was from Henry V.
Zombie Cam.
No.
Poor G Money.
There we go. Thank you all for joining us. We hope you've had a lovely time, and we will see you again next week. There will be more
Let
Alien
us read it.
Isolation before then. Goodbye.